Núñez has got to go, said Chris Child. Núñez out, said Daniel. Look, you can look at Núñez and make that argument. You can look at Salah and make that argument. Van Dijk, he is not a leader. I say it over and over again. I'm going to say it again. What does he lead? He has allowed this capitulation to happen. We had the chance to have a reset. We lost to Manchester United in the FA Cup in a bit of a crazy game, but we lost from a winning position. We had a chance to reset. We go into the international break. We come back out of it on the other side. We get 2 wins and then we go to Old Trafford and fall apart again and draw. And from that point on, they've given up. Klopp will come out with some absolute garbage, I'm sure, that will try to justify the absolute pony that we've just witnessed in front of us. But again, don't tell us we don't know what we're seeing. We know a lack of stomach and a lack of fight and a lack of effort when we see it. We know a lack of courage when we see it. Adam said, as painful as this was, please God at least don't let City win the league. I hope Arsenal can do a miracle. I hope they can capitalise if City drop points. It would be terrible to lose a league title to anybody, but at least I could look at Arsenal with respect and congratulate them. Craig, where's the Darwin from Benfica? I'm not even angry because we've seen the same player for ages. Where was Salah as well? It's not good enough. The excuse making from our fans for some people needs to stop as well. Like, let's call it, let's be frank about this. Salah, done. Nobody's denying what he's done before, but he's done. Darwin, how many more chances? How long do you have to go? Will a new manager get it out of him? I don't know. Van Dijk, not a leader. Canade, shocking. Doesn't learn his lesson. Same stupid niggly fouls. Curtis Jones is back to being the Curtis Jones who wouldn't get into Marine. Wouldn't get into a Sunday League team. It's just unacceptable. To even start the game and have McAllister back in the 6. Why? To reward Jones and Szoboszlai? For what? They've been gash. Imagine dropping Ryan Gravenberch and Endo to put in Dominic Szoboszlai and Curtis Jones, who've stunk the gaff up for weeks, and expecting something different to happen. Now I know why Klopp's leaving. He's done. Bye, said Nasser Khan. Why was Gravenberch back on the bench? I've no idea, Paul. I've no idea, but I keep saying, mate, and I know I keep repeating myself, but what message does that send? What message does it send to other players? You work your ass off in training. For what? To have a chance, but you don't get that chance. Gravenberch comes in, puts in a good performance. Okay, Cody couldn't be there tonight for family reasons. That's completely understandable. But this is pathetic. And what was the most galling part of it all is you never once felt like we were turning that round. You never once felt like they had it in them to change their destiny there. Star Girl said we have to go play West Ham, Spurs and Villa. If we lose all 3, Villa will be in front of us. Should they win their next games, that's worrying. He needs to make wholesale changes. For whatever the remainder of these games are, he cannot keep rewarding dross. He can't. For his own sanity. Out of respect for those fans paying their money to watch it. He cannot keep putting these same clowns out there that are just rolling over and giving up. Let me ask you guys this question. Whether you're a Liverpool fan or not, it doesn't really matter at this point. Do you think we should have a parade? Do you think an open top bus through Liverpool after this is a great way to send Klopp off? Because look, I love Klopp and I've had great times watching him, but nobody deserves a bus top parade for that. Unless it's a parade of shame. Because there's nothing to celebrate here. Where was the passion? Where was the fight from Klopp? Where was the anger? All of them. They just accepted it. They just took the beating like cowards. A parade to celebrate our failure. Like, I get it. Klopp's time at the club should be marked, of course. They should, of course. But it doesn't feel fitting to have a parade. Have a goodbye inside Anfield or something, like going through the city parading a Tin Pot League Cup when we had the chance for a real send-off. It feels like this last month has been a microcosm of the entire time. Bit of success and a lot of heartache. A lot of so nearly. A lot of close. I don't know. Spurs have 2 games in hand and only 6 points behind Villa. We have to win all our games just to stay in the top 4. I don't think we necessarily do, but either way, it's... To even have that conversation, Stargirl, is ludicrous, isn't it, mate? You know, that we're talking about maybe fighting to stay in the top 4. Oh my God, how do we get here? Klopp should be respected because he's achieved a lot with us with much less money than City and Madrid. He showed that money can be defeated. Nobody's denying what he's achieved at the club, mate. Nobody. Whatever way we look at it, there's been success and it's been beautiful, and he's definitely put us in the right direction, and overall his legacy is far more good than bad. I think the frustration that a lot of us feel right now is because we don't want him to be remembered in this way. We don't want him to be remembered for his last year for falling over Europa League with a 3-0 home loss to Atalanta, to capitulating at Old Trafford in a 4-3 FA Cup defeat, to have the final nail rammed in your league title coffin by a relegation-threatened Everton at Goodison. This is what hurts us though, mate. You know, we don't want that to be what Klopp's going to be remembered for here. But this season has ended up being an absolute shambles. From, you can say, yes, you'd have taken it at the start of the season, and I get that. But you also need context. The season unfolded as it did, and we had another chance. We lost to Palace. We lost to Everton. We've been dropping stupid points, and Klopp has allowed the same players to keep underperforming, and it's infuriating. I think this shows why we don't deserve the title. Arsenal can go out and batter Chelsea, and we struggle against teams fighting for relegation. I can't disagree with that, mate. Arsenal went out last night and took care of business, wiped the floor with Chelsea, and we go out against a poor Everton team and can't even match them for effort. I see a lot of the chat, and there's a lot of hurt and a lot of anger and a lot of frustration and a lot of things being said. And then I see some other people in the chat saying about what Klopp gave us over the years, and there's merit in all of it. There's merit in the people who were talking about what Klopp gave us, and he did. But I would just say that I think that's what adds to the hurt, is that we all wanted it for Jurgen. We all wanted the fairy tale send-off. I wanted them to lift the Europa League in Dublin, my home city. I wanted them to go out with a league title. And that's why the hurt is there for a lot of people. Is it just feels like his legacy has been destroyed by cowardly performances from players on the pitch. It's like you have a nightmare that you can't wake up from, and it just keeps happening over and over and over again. You can't do it, and you just watch on as it all crumbles. It's hard. I'm the goat. Craig, I respect you so much. You're very honest, mate. Slam my hand in the door. So angry they let us down. My question, Craig, why now? Why the F now? What happened? In my opinion, United game has to be it, but wow. Mate, I can't argue about most of what you've said. The United game certainly feels like a turning point, but we had the international break to reset, and then we come back again, win 2 games, then go to Old Trafford and again don't bury a poor United team, and after that you're losing a home to Palace, away to relegation fodder in a derby, and now you get to have all those Everton fans, correctly by the way, talking about how they ended Liverpool's title race. That's their job. They've every right to say that. I'd do the same in their position. And that's what makes this so angry. If you can't get up for a Merseyside derby, what hope have we got?